One day, on a very hot summer, in the middle of the desert, there was currently being held a sports tournament with lots of difficult sports. For example, dirt bike racing with helicopters up there. And there was one special guest. She was very rich and didn't really care for a lot of people. Most people wouldn't call her very kind. This is so boring. Why did Daddy tell me to go to this place? Isn't it supposed to be my brother's job to come and become the sponsors here? Why is it me? Why is it always me? I told him that I wanted to go to Paris, and yet I am stuck here in the middle of the desert with no one, not even my butler or maid. Ugh! Daddy, why did you tell me to come here? I hate it! At least there's a helicopter. Ooh, and some handsome guys too. But suddenly, when she rode on the helicopter, she looked around and saw some beautiful scenery, but it wasn't something that she imagined before or has seen. It was something out of this world. There were plants that were not like any other. Hey, this doesn't look like I'm in the middle of the desert. Why are those trees so high? But these leaves, why are they red? And, hey, where's the helicopter? Why is it gone? Hello? Anybody? Can anybody hear me? Oh no, I'm all alone. But how am I supposed to survive all alone? She then kept walking and walking, trying to find any sign of life, maybe some civilization, or maybe some pyramids, or at least a village so that she could talk to someone. She kept walking and walking until she saw a huge stone building carved into the cave walls. Oh, what is this place? It was soon getting dark, and it was getting quite windy, so she took her chances and went inside. Oh, what is this? Filled with carvings everywhere. But it doesn't seem I can read it. It doesn't look like English. She kept walking and walking. Maybe there's something that she could use and find. Until she heard something in the distance. It was a horse. And then she heard a bird. A sound? She came closer and closer and... Who are you? It was a big man riding a horse with a scary, scary bird on its shoulder.
I should be asking you the same thing. Who are you? And why did you come here?
I don't know. I don't know why I'm here. I suddenly just appeared out of nowhere. And I can't think of it. But please, don't hurt me. I'm not gonna try and do anything. I won't steal any of your treasure.
Suspicious. This place hasn't had any visitors for years, and yet you're the first one who came here. What are you gonna try and do?
Nothing. I told you, I'm not going to do anything. She thought maybe that there's something she could do so that she wouldn't hurt him at least. She kept thinking and thinking until she came up with an idea. Okay, before you try and kill me, why don't we just discuss things here? So, I'm Camila, and I just came here out of nowhere, like I said before. I went down here by a helicopter, and there was nothing when I came here. I looked around, and the helicopter was gone.
Very well, I see. I've been stuck here for hundreds of years. I used to become a great war sergeant, and yet suddenly I arrived on this planet, seen somewhere, not somewhere I've been before. It's very strange. But it looks like, seems you're not going to do any harm. Why don't we work together?
Sure thing. I think that would be a great idea. Sorry, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten anything yet.
Her stomach was growling and she was so thirsty. Well, if we go deeper inside of this tunnel, there should be some landscaping that we could see. We can try and hunt some animals there.
All right, you go ahead and take the lead.
So they went across the tunnel and found a huge landscape filled with lots of animals. And there it was, something that they could eat.
So, how are we supposed to catch that thing?
Well, it's pretty easy. You just take the spear, throw it, and kapow!
That was so cool!
They then caught the kangaroo, they chopped it up, put it on the bonfire, and ate it. Soon, nighttime came. It was getting really cold, but they didn't have anywhere else to go. Though something strange was happening. It looked like that there was a big figure up there. They went closer and closer to see what it was. It was a mythical creature with giant wings spreading across for acres and acres, with its huge beak and sharp claws. It didn't look friendly.
Mr. War Sergeant, what are we supposed to do now?
Well, I've never seen that creature before. Whenever I came here, it was... No. That's not supposed to be here. I've only seen it in the cave walls. That's the mythical griffin!
Huh? What's that noise? A car? It can rescue us!
The griffin heard the noise too. It came chasing after the car.
And she kept running and running, trying to go and fight it and catch it and try to go home quickly.
But the griffin was too fast.
Let me borrow your spear. She then took the war surgeon's spear and shoot!
It was the mythical griffin. It was dead. She then hopped on onto the car, but there was no one on it. Thankfully, she knew how to drive.
Come on, Mr. War Surgeon. Maybe we can find something quicker, and maybe we can go home faster.
All right, then let's go. They then rode the car to see far miles and miles away until they try and find something that looks similar to their home. Maybe, just maybe, this is their chance to go back home. But there was nothing. All of that riding and nothing. It was just more sand and sand. The cave that they went into before, it was already miles and miles away. And the gas in the car, it was all gone. Finished.
What are we supposed to do now? I can never go home. What am I supposed to do?
Hey, don't worry. I survived this place for hundreds of years. Maybe if we work together, we can find a way to escape. So, why don't you take my hand?
Really? Well, it's better than being lonely.
So she picked up her hand, and they both just become best friends and tried to live together and survive until they found a way to escape. You know, that spear throwing was pretty cool. I'm surprised like a little girl like you could throw something like that.
Well, sometimes the worst case scenarios, you just have to do your thing and just fight to live.
Because you can build me up, you can tear me down. You could try, but I'm unbreakable. You can do your best, but I'll stand the test. You could try, but I'm unshakable. Oh, I'm unshakable. So even if you're in a different place, you should always try to live, because life is just a gift for us. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. I hope to see y'all next time. Bye-bye!
Marvelous! Thank you, Audrey, for your great performance, and you may turn to your seat and wait for the general assessment session. All right, now that all of the finalists have come to the stage, and for our adjudicators, you may give the general assessment.
All right, I'm going to be the first here, but before that, I want to ask you guys, how are you feeling? Great? Nervous, all right, okay. But first of all, I would like to say congratulations for every one of you who have completed the final. Congratulations. Okay, so I'm going to head up into my assessment. I think it's going to be quite general. I can see that some of you might a little bit struggling with this slide and also sound. It's understandable. I think I will give you some tips. I believe that all of you already informed that the final would be light and sound, and they already tell you guys how it's going to be, right? The rules and regulation and all of the stuff that you need to know for the finals. I think you guys can prepare one story and then put the slide and the sound into your story rather than making the story on the spot where you get to see the slide and sound for the first time, because it really shows that some of you might really a little bit struggling because you try to create your story on the spot. That's the first, and the second one is try to be calm, okay? Because when you are rushing, when you're, it seems like you guys really want to finish your story immediately, but the time is still running and you have plenty of time to build up the story. So take your time, especially when you're trying to create and try to correlate the slide, the pictures and the sound into your story. And don't forget that this is slide and sound. The point of this round is how to incorporate the slide, the pictures, and also the sound that you were given into your story. Do not miss it. And they told me that you are allowed to skip pictures, right? Committee? Yeah. So if you not really get the pictures, I mean, like you're not really want it to be in your pictures, you can skip it right away. You don't have to force to make it into your story, because what I realized is that when you're forcing the pictures or the sound into your story, it makes your story kind of jumpy. So the transition is not very smooth. Yeah, I think that's all from me, and the other educator can explain more. Thank you.
Okay, hello. Hi. You guys, I know you guys are currently very, very nervous. I still remember my first time doing slides and sounds. It was gut-wrenching. I wanted to vomit at the spot during that time. So I currently understand how you feel right now. But okay, moving on to the assessment. The first one is that slides and sounds, from my experience, is it really tests how well you have quote-unquote story templates in your head. How you can actually, how you say this, how you get prepared to form a story that you have from your head, from all of the elements in the slides. Because there are some people who only know basic stories, like for example, they only know like very popular folk tales, but when they're given an impromptu storytelling, their brain goes haywire. They don't know what to do. But luckily enough, I've never seen any of you struggle to make a story to the point where the story did not make any sense at all. So kudos to you guys. Maybe you might be asking, Greg, how do you start loading your head with, loading your library in your head with stories? Well, my advice to you is try to read more books or watch more movies, which are not really mainstream. You know, the ones where you have to really look through Google to find it. And also, this is a more long-term advice is try to know what's called tropes. Tropes are things in movies or novels where it's like tools on how to like make how you insert characters, how you move the plot forward. For example, if you do realize in any kind of movie, whatever element is mentioned, even if the character says like, "Oh my God, I have asthma," trust me, later in the movie, that asthma is going to drive the plot forward or probably help them in a situation. Okay, second one is try to remember the very simple curve I told you about stories. First, the character is like living his or her life normally. They're introduced to a problem, so it's going to be conflict. They're trying to find a way to resolve it. It's going to reach the climax. They find a resolution to it, and it's going to calm down, and it's going to finish the story. Always follow that curve because as you know, in almost all Disney movies, they follow that curve, and just by simply following that curve, the story is also still memorable in a way, right? So the next one is, if you want to introduce characters to your story, my recommendation is do not exceed 3 characters. 3 is the maximum amount of characters that you want to introduce in your story. More than that, you probably forget that there's a 4th character, or maybe the 4th character does not serve a purpose at all. Okay, next one is, okay, my next point is, this does not reflect my scoring towards you guys at all. There are some that I've noticed in past competitions that I followed when during impromptu rounds. There are certain participants who end their story with, "It's just a dream." Okay, just to let you guys know, ending a story with "It's just a dream" or maybe "It's just a coma" is not a bad thing. For example, Polar Express, if you guys know that movie, that's a very good example, because it turns out that the character wakes up from his dream, but his dream was not, it's ambiguous whether it's real or not, but it serves as a lesson to the main character. But a bad implementation of this is when you say that the main character wakes up from their dream or a coma, but turns out that whatever was in their head is dismissed totally. Like a character wakes up, for example, Greg wakes up from his coma. "Oh my God, Greg, you're finally awake." But there's no mention of what happened during my coma. It's just a quick dismissal, a quick way of saying, it never happened, and it didn't matter to the overall story. You get what I mean, right? So it's more like that. So try to avoid ending your story with "It's just a dream," but using it in a way to dismiss the entire experience the main character has gone through. So I guess that's all the assessment from me. So next is our beloved Uncle Gary. Please, Uncle Gary.
After you said you Kak Greg and Kak Calvin, and you will say this is Uncle Gary. Hello everyone. First thing first, I just want to thank you. Thanks for your all performances, right? So, because you did great. I know it's not easy. I know it's very hard. Slide and sound, it's a jerk section of the storytelling competition. But I'm just going to make it short. I'm not going to discuss about all the technical matters, like how you manage your voice, how you manage your face expression, how you manage your body language, how you manage your intonation, blah, blah, blah. There's another key that all good storytellers have to remember. If you know you are a storyteller, you have your own theater of mind in your mind, right? But good storyteller, they will open their door and invite the audience to be on that stage, to be with them in their theater of mind. So, the most important thing is, if you are a teller and you have a good story, you have to have a connection with the audience. If you are a good storyteller, if you are not a good storyteller, if you don't have any good story, but if you succeed to build a connection, then it's done. All right? A wise man said, Those who tell stories, they will rule the world. So good luck, everyone.
Thank you. It was actually quite intimidating to give a comment after Uncle Gary, so I would just give you guys a tips, I guess. So I think it's a bit of a wrap up from the other educator. You guys still need to have the plot, right? The story plot, and we have those mountain. Like the rising action, the climax, resolution kind of thing, you still need to create a different atmosphere for each of the plot, because we still need to create like the connection, just like what Uncle Gary said, right? So make sure each of every movement you created or the simple word you're saying, it represents the atmosphere for each plot. That way we could be in your story and you still can get the connection with us. I think overall you guys could create such a great story. Even like, I don't even know if I could stand there and continue without shaking my mic. Like, you guys are awesome. Like, so awesome. One of my favorite thing about final is about, one of my favorite thing about final is a battle of a plot, and you guys did a great job creating your own plot. So let's see the result. Overall, you guys did amazing, and let's see the result. Good luck, guys. Yay.
All right, thank you very much, our adjudicators, for your general assessment. So our adjudicators, you want to take pictures with...
Okay, once again. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
All right, thank you for our adjudicators, and for the finalists, you may return to your seat.